Good morning, my friends. This is Enlightened Fitness. I'm Lama Jigme Gyatso, and welcome to my study at the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Today we're going to perform 5 minutes of the Fabulous 5 exercises, and then 15 minutes of guided meditation. Before we do, so the table can be divided up, or the video can be divided up into 3 sections. Excerpt from Dr. John McDougall, MD's The Starch Solution, the Fabulous 5 circuit training, and then guided meditation. Let's start with the book. Dr. John McDougall is an MD who is one of the pioneers in the field of nutritional medicine. Him and his ilk have had great success in reversing heart disease, hypertension, cancer, and the like, as well as autoimmune disorders. I really recommend the books by Dr. Neil Barnard and by Dr. John McDougall, as well as the free videos put out by Dr. Michael Greger. If you cannot afford, you can purchase the books using the first link or the second link in the doodly-doo. If you cannot afford them, that link will take you to a page where there are numerous public discourses given by them for free. William Rose determines the protein and amino acid needs for people. In 1942, Dr. Rose turned his attention to people, studying amino acid requirements in healthy male graduate students, using essentially the same methodology as he had used with the rats. These students were fed a diet of cornstarch, sucrose, butterfat, corn oil, inorganic salts, and known vitamins. Yum. Their only protein came from mixtures of highly purified amino acids. They also received a large brown candy made of concentrated liver extract to provide any missing vitamins. The candy was sweetened with sugar and flavored with peppermint oil for a never-to-be-forgotten taste. Dr. Rose tested the students' need for each individual amino acid by removing one at a time from the diet. When an essential amino acid was given in insufficient quantity for approximately 2 days, all subjects complained bitterly of some similar symptoms: nervous irritability, extreme fatigue, and profound loss of appetite. These subjects were unable to continue the amino acid deficient diets for more than a few days at a time. Dr. Rose found that only 8 of the 10 amino acids essential to rats were also essential to these young men. The other 2 amino acids essential to rats were non-essential to humans because we can synthesize them ourselves. Dr. Rose also identified the minimum required level for each of the 8 essential amino acids. Because he found small amounts of variation in individual needs among his subjects, he included a large margin of safety in his final conclusions on minimum amino acid requirements. For each amino acid, he took the highest recorded level of need in any subject, then doubled the amount for a recommended requirement. Described as a definitely safe intake. Even Dr. Rose's inflated amino acid levels are easily met by a diet consisting of any single grain, legume, or starchy vegetable. Rice or potatoes alone supply all of the protein and amino acids both adults and children need. All unrefined starches and green, yellow, and orange vegetables, it turns out, are perfectly calibrated by natural design to meet our protein needs. So long as we eat enough of them to satisfy our energy caloric requirements. These foods perfectly support peak human nutrition as they have done for aeons. What follows is some charts I will not regale you with at this moment. The text continues. Other researchers have examined the capacity of plant foods to meet our protein needs and have found that children grow to be healthy and strong, and adults continue to thrive on a diet based solely on a single type of starch. No benefit is derived from mixing plant foods, nor from supplementing them with amino acid mixtures to make the combined patterns look more like protein from flesh, dairy, or eggs. And that, my friends, is all you get from Dr. McDougall today. Unless, of course, you go to Amazon and download his silly book, which I recommend. Of course, I recommend downloading it rather than purchasing it as a paperback, because why kill trees? They give us oxygen, they store carbon, and the purdy. So, save a tree, download a Kindle. That's what I say. But getting back to the conclusions drawn by this section of this chapter of that book, it is safe to go vegan. In fact, it's more than safe, it's beneficial. Selfishly, it's beneficial for our bodies, our minds. Selfishly, it's beneficial for our pocketbooks because nothing will destroy retirement plans quite like a catastrophic health requirement, such as cancer or heart disease or stroke. It's safe to choose a compassionate dietary lifestyle for the sake of the animals. There's no scientific requirement at this point in our development for the enslavement, the sexual abuse, the torture, or the murder of animals, just so we can have a moment's pleasure at the tip of our fork. Now you may say, why do I keep saying sexual abuse or rape? Am I being hyperbolic? No. Consider this for a moment, if you will. Where does cheese come from? Milk. Where does milk come from? Cows. All cows all the time lactate? No. Only cows that have recently calved or delivered offspring. Which brings to mind the next question. In the modern institution of factory farming, also known as a CAFO, do they really have bovine dating services? No. They harvest semen from an unwilling bull, that's sexual assault, and then they restrain a female cow and put it into her vagina and eventually into her uterus against her will. That is rape. Cheese is the product of enslavement and rape. Not to mention milk and cottage cheese and all the other rigmarole. So yes, animal agriculture is enslavement, and it is rape. And although we might not dream of doing these things to innocent beasties ourselves, we unknowingly pay others to do it with our consumer choices in this country. A man who shoots another man in the head with a gun can be prosecuted for murder 1. But in this country also, another man who pays a man to kill a man with a gun is prosecuted also for murder 1, even though he committed murder by proxy. We enslave animals, rape, torture, and murder them by proxy with our consumer choices until now. Now we can choose not to, for it's safe to eat a whole food vegan diet. No less safe, it's beneficial. And there are so many delicious recipe books for the whole food vegan lifestyle that you can find on the second link in my doodly-doo. And that sounds weird, but I assure you that's YouTube jargon for the links below the video. Enough of my ranting. Come, let us work out. The easiest way to warm up for the 5 fabulous exercises is by doing the 5 fabulous exercises slowly. Join me now, won't you? Wow! Okay. If this is your first time doing the 5 fabulous exercises, then use the first link in the doodly-doo to find the instructional video that explains in great detail not only how to do each exercise, but how to adapt each exercise for beginning, intermediate, advanced, moderately advanced, and very advanced skill levels. Having said that, come let us warm up with judo squats. Now let's warm up with tabletops. Now let's warm up by pressing. Now let's warm up by performing the twisted leg raise. Now let's perform the shin pull. First with our elbows out. Now with our elbows down. And now that we're sufficiently warmed up, let's set the timer for 5 minutes. Now this is only 5 minutes, so it's imperative that you work out as enthusiastically as you safely can. Squats. Flying bridges. Twisted press. Twisted raise. Shin pull, elbows out. Judo squats. Flying tabletops. Twisted flying press. Twisted raise. Shin pull, elbow in. Judo squats. Flying tabletops. Yay! That's the alarm. Let's go fetch some water. Beverage of choice. To your very good health. Okay. And now we come to today's guided meditation. Today's guided meditation will be approximately 15 minutes in length. If this is your first time, I recommend starting with the first class in the doodly-doo. In the link, they can get to using the link in the doodly-doo below. So here's the deal. These guided meditations do not replace instruction. But what if you want to receive instruction? Simple. Using the third link below, download a free copy of the PDF entitled the Maha Satipatthana Sutta, also known as Buddha's Techniques and Lao Tzu's Principles. Lao Tzu being the author of the Tao Te Ching. Throughout that text, you'll notice hyperlinks. When you click one, it'll take you to the appropriate video, which gives you all the instructions you require. If you start at the beginning and work your way through the entire text, theoretically you will receive all the instructions you need to accomplish the path rapidly. How cool is that? Of course, if that seems kind of clunky to you and you'd rather just attend a live class, you can. Either in person in Southern California or during a live webinar simulcast. And you can find out more about that in the fourth link below in the doodly-doo. And don't worry, I charge for nothing. Everything is by donation, which means some people give a lot, some people give a little, some people give nothing. The only thing I demand is this. 1, you show up 5 minutes early. 2, you do your damn homework. Even if it's meditating for as little as 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening, do your homework so that you get results. Just watching my talking head while entertaining is no substitute for doing your homework. I do not teach fundamentalistically but liberally. I do not teach theistically but atheistically, which means these techniques are applicable regardless of the nature of your religious background. Having said that, let's dig in. The PDF I told you about is best viewed on a Kindle device or a smartphone after you've downloaded the free Kindle app, which is really cool. What you get to do is the Kindle app, if you contact them, usually through Amazon, but they will give you an email address so that you can send yourself an email of the PDF you downloaded and receive it on your Kindle device, which makes navigating the document much more sane. You do not have to follow along with me. You can just practice auditorily if you so desire. I know of a brilliant physician who can only practice auditorily. She can't balance visual and auditory, so if that's the way you need to practice, you are in good company. If you're following along, we're beginning on page 8. I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes so that nobody's head explodes. Now, I recommend if this is your first time, you start off with a 5-minute guided meditation. Do that twice a day for 7 consecutive days. And then you try your hand at the 10-minute guided meditation. Twice a day for 7 days. And then you try your hand at the 15-minute meditation. Sure and steady wins the race. In other words, set yourself up so that your contemplative experience is pleasurable. If meditation is a chore, then you're doing it wrong. It's supposed to be fun and easy and pleasurable, not unlike teenage masturbation. First, so now we're going to perform the 3 exercises of the first set. Oh, what about that timer? Timer is running. First rhetorical question is, how deep breath? On the out breath, relaxing. This is silent, and you recite this silently and mentally. On the in-breath, silently and mentally ask, where feel bliss? On the out-breath, silently and mentally intend, relaxing. These are not affirmations. We're not trying to believe anything. We're not trying to make ourselves feel anything. We're simply training our mindfulness. In breath. How deep breath? Out breath. Relaxing. If you're following along at home, please turn to page 9 for the second set of contemplative exercises. We start now to work with the triple grin, where we play with our lips and our cheeks and our eyes. Grin with lips to breath, relaxing. Remember, these are rhetorical questions. It's not our job to ponder these questions. It's our job to silently and mentally recite these questions and let the body and the subconscious puzzle them out as if they were a great contemplative Rubik's Cube. We're going to keep it easy and simple. Grin with lips to breath, relaxing. Grin with cheeks to breath, relaxing. Grin with eyes to breath, relaxing. Where feel joy, relaxing. And now the simplified grinning exercise. Grin to breath, relaxing. If you're following along at home, please turn to the 10th page for the second set of contemplative exercises. Grin with lips to body, relaxing. Where feel content, relaxing. Grin to body, relaxing. I turn now to page 11 for the third set of contemplative exercises. These 4 sets demystify the first 4 of the 8 jhanas, or levels of contemplative bliss. How slow breath, relaxing. Where feel tranquil, relaxing. How slow breath, relaxing. I always recommend that we begin every meditation session with these 4 sets of centering exercises. This translation of the Mahasatipatthana Sutta is arguably the direct and indirect essence of all of Buddha's meditation instructions. Buddha was alive, if he was a real person, if he walked out of the woods, armed with one of Jane Roddenberry's universal translators, would he recognize our modern practice of Buddhism? The answer is only if we follow the techniques of the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, or the greater discourse upon the 4 bases of mindfulness. What are those 4 bases? Body, sense organs, mind, including emotions, and phenomena. So far we've been working with body. We're going to continue with that now in an overarching sense. I'm turning to page 15 for the 5th set of contemplative exercises. What doing? Relaxing. How sitting? Relaxing. Grin to body, relaxing. That was an overarching exploration of the body. Now we're going to do a finer, more detailed explanation of the body in a portion of the text that the commentators typically refer to as mindfulness of the body's components, and this is found on page 22. This is the 6th set of contemplative exercises. Grin with lips to body, relaxing. Grin with cheeks to body, relaxing. Grin with eyes to body, relaxing. Grin from soles to scalp, relaxing. And now reverse. Grin from scalp to soles, relaxing. Once again, we don't have to do any mental gymnastics. Just silently and mentally repeat these words in harmony with your breath, and your body and subtle mind will do the heavy lifting. Grin from scalp to soles, relaxing. Not only are we sharpening our mindfulness with the components of our body, but we are beginning to explore interdependence. Or at least we will in our next guided meditation. For the alarm is going off. That's all we get today. Now, as I promised before, I practice atheistically. So I do not end my practice with a prayer. I do not beseech an old man with flip-flops and a long Jerry Garcia beard to grant me favors like some great cosmic Santa Claus. But I do play with the possibility that these 15 minutes of guided meditation have been a very positive, energetic experience. With all positive energy, we direct it with our intention, and we guide our intention with our words. So together, let's recite the text in the last 2 pages of the PDF. If you don't have them in front of you, we'll just simply do call and response. There's nothing mystical here. There's nothing magical. We are just using words, very positive words, to guide our intention. Love here is defined not as what we feel, but what we intend. And when we intend to meet the needs of others, that's love. Arguably, one of the main reasons for being alive. Repeat after me. May all be skilled and peaceful, as well as seek the good. May all be able and upright, straightforward, of gentle speech, and not proud. May all be content and easily supported, unburdened with their senses calmed. May all be wise, not arrogant. May all be without desire for the possessions of others. May all do nothing mean, or that the wise would reprove. And of course, when I think of meanness, I think of the protagonist from Wuthering Heights. Oh, very mean fellow. May all beings be happy. May they live in safety and joy. All living beings, whether weak or strong, stout or lean, tall or short, seen or unseen, near or distant, born or to be born, may they all be happy. May no one deceive another or despise any being in any state. May none by anger or hatred wish harm to another. Remember, this is not prayers. We're simply taking our positive energy and pointing it in a very benevolent, loving direction. As a mother watches over her only child, willing to risk her own life to protect her child, so with a boundless heart, may all cherish each living being, suffusing the whole wide world with unobstructed loving kindness. May each be unattached to speculations, views, and sense desires, and have clear vision, for such a person could never be reborn in the cycle of suffering. Standing or walking, sitting or lying down, during all one's waking hours, may each remain mindful of this heart and this way of living that is the best in the world. In other words, let us not be bastards. My friends, I thank you for your time and your kind attention. If you've enjoyed this video, find the thumbs up icon and give that bad boy a click, and then share it with your friends on social media. If you want to make sure not to miss my next video, find the button that reads subscribe. It should be red, and give that a click. After you do, just to the right, you'll see a little tiny circular icon in the shape of a donut or a gear. When you click that, a pull-down menu will descend, and if you click the first box, you will be authorizing YouTube to send you an email notification the next time I upload a video. Now I'm going to take a moment to approach the computer. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Goodbye now. And where's the off switch?